The amount of Zach Collins disrespect is absolutely gross to me. Has anyone, been keeping up with what's been going on with Zach recently?
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
It's official. Woj has posted this. And as you can see, Clan reposted it, so you know it's official. So we're going to talk about Zach Collins being extended and how I feel about it and the poor reception from fans when it comes to this. Now, before we get into that, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Please go get yourself some merch. Either you can do that or you can become a patron, a YouTube member, and that's only $2 per month. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you don't have to. Just like, subscribe this video. And the thing about the merch is so cool, man, because someone, I already talked about this before, but someone sent this to me and were like, yo, at the end of the Miami and Spurs game, your merch was on television. I was like, what? And as you can see here is the Bonjour shirt here, but so cool, so cool. But anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, link in the description. All right, let's take a look. Zach Collins. All right, so he's been guaranteed or has agreed to a 2-year, $35 million contract extension. And that would bring it all the way through 2025, 2026. And we'll look at the comments in a second, but mostly from what I've seen and the reposts and everything, it's a lot of people saying overpaid. What are they thinking? Spurs just doing whatever at this point. And that's not true at all. Now, if you're a Spurs fan, you should know this, that the Spurs, they have a history of basically rewarding players that take team-friendly contracts. They will reward you. As you guys know, Zach Collins was definitely outplaying his contract over the last season or two. As we can see here, he was only making $7 million over that 3-year span, and obviously it was him betting on himself because of the injuries, but it has paid off. I would even argue that him at that center position was more beneficial for the Spurs than even Jakob Poeltl was, because you look at the numbers, he was doing almost the exact same numbers. Defensive impact was merely the same, except Zach Collins was also shooting threes. And as we can see right here, it wasn't even fully guaranteed until after the drafts. So it wasn't fully guaranteed until 2022 NBA draft, but before that, it was just half of it was guaranteed. The next season, or this upcoming season, was non-guaranteed until after the 2023 NBA draft. So yeah, I thought that it made complete sense for the Spurs to go ahead and make this happen. Another reason too, if you just want to look at not just the fact that, oh, you took this player-friendly deal, you bet on yourself, and we reward that, which they always do, especially veterans. They do this all the time. But he fits so well with Victor. He spaces the floor. He's the enforcer. Putting him in that center position allows Wemby to do what he does. He is by far the best center that the San Antonio Spurs have on this team right now. I mean, if you say Victor Wembanyama is a center, I would disagree. But yeah, I think that Zach Collins is the best center that we have. And while I love Bassie as a center as well, being kind of that brute force enforcer, he doesn't have the versatility that Zach Collins has. And I'll even add on top of it, okay? I'll double down, triple down on this. I think Zach Collins getting this contract is necessary, not just because of his defense, not just because he's a brute enforcer, not just because he fits well offensively as far as a stretch big, but also because he's one of the only players that I've seen thus far be able to get Victor Wembanyama in his spots. Now, Zach Collins isn't known as like being a phenomenal like passer or anything, but from what I've seen, he at the very least has the patience and the knowledge, the basketball IQ to know how to get Victor in his spots. The whole team is still working on it. Obviously, Jeremy Sohan is the best at it right now, and he hasn't played basketball in like what, 7 months? It's been forever. But I do believe that Zach Collins has done a phenomenal job as well of getting him in his spots. So I think that he fits with the team super well. I think he's a really good leader. I think that his game really complements Vic. And I also think that he is one of those guys that I mentioned. Now, let me say this too. Let me say this, okay? This is a I told you so moment right here. If you guys been keeping up with the channel, I know there's a lot of new people because there's a lot of people that just became Victor Wembanyama fans and now you're Spurs fans and all that. That's cool. But this is something I've been talking about the past couple seasons. So in the 2022 draft, I believe, a lot of San Antonio Spurs fans, what they wanted was Kai Jones. Like, that's who they wanted. They wanted Kai Jones. They were like, we need somebody that can go in there and dunk and be a true center or whatnot. They also wanted what was it, Duren. A lot of people wanted Duren. I didn't necessarily think that was necessary to go after Duren. And the reason being is because I always believe that those types of centers, while Duren is going to be like really good, he's already really good, he's going to be a really good center. I think that those types of centers you can find in free agency. You don't have to necessarily use a draft pick to get one of those guys. You will be able to find them. I mean, Kai Jones, I don't know what's going on with him, but I mean, he's available right now, right? Like, I wouldn't take him, but he's available right now. So you can take like centers. You can find centers of that type of archetype all the time. And Zach Collins is one of those guys. At the end of the day, it was all about making sure that the Spurs get a star player in this type of position, this type of brute force, or this type of center that you will add to your roster. You can get it in free agency. You don't have to go all out and give up a bunch to get it, give up a draft pick to go and grab it. You don't necessarily have to do that, or use your draft pick. I'm sorry. You might have to use it. Draft pick to trade for him, but you don't have to actually utilize your draft pick. Draft picks are very valuable, and I didn't think that was really necessary. Now, obviously, it ended with Primo. We couldn't have seen that coming, but it is what it is. I thought that the Spurs made the right decision in that draft in particular. But let's go ahead and move on after like thinking about it after the fact, because as you guys know, that night I was like, what's going on? Anyways, so let's see what some of the comments say, and we'll get on out of here. I don't understand. I don't understand the hate. All right, let's see here. This person says overpay. What does this person say? And yes, again, as always, people show how much they know about the cap by still mentioning money instead of the percentage of the cap. Spurs aren't winning in the short run. Extensions like these make sense. Also, the fact that it goes to 2025, 2026, I'm thinking that's around the time that the Spurs are really going to kick it up a notch, and it's time to reevaluate the team and see, all right, what are we about to do to make this run? Because the 2025 NBA draft is going to be really nice, and then we're going to need one more year to at least develop those players and yada, yada, yada. I think that by that time, the Spurs are going to be a real playoff team, okay? Not just making the playoffs, but an actual playoff team. Making more than Claxton, okay? Why overpay? Good contract? Yes. Okay. About 50-50. Rockets fans the other day. What does it say? Expecting Şengün to dominate today without Wembanyama. The Spurs big man rotation is quite awful. Great opportunity for Şengün to get himself into a rhythm. Zach Collins exists, and don't sleep on Bassi either. The existence of Zach Collins is the driving force behind this tweet. He's not good. No idea what they're talking about. Holy overpay. You see what I'm saying? Spurs giving anyone money. Great deal, not gonna lie. It is, Alex. $35 million a year for Zach Collins. It's not $35 million. It was. Wait, am I tripping? Wait, maybe I'm wrong. I think a 2-year, $35 million contract extension. No, it's half of that. And I'm sure people correct them in the comments. I'm not gonna worry about it. Spurs aren't competing for a chip for a year, so this is fine. Just gotta go get a team ready for when Wemby and the young guys are ready. That's another reason too. Like, we're not winning anytime soon, or at least it's going to be a couple seasons. But he also just fits with Wemby super well. And Zach Collins isn't like really old either. Like, he's only 26. Yeah. He's not even in his prime yet. Anyways, let's see. Oh, sorry. Earned it, restored his career in San Antonio. Agreed. $17.5 million annually to be Wemby's bodyguard. That's funny. $17.5 million a year for Zach Collins, and I'm supposed to be happy Wemby went to this organization. God, we got some brain dead comments here. Spurs are building up. Good for him. Deserves it. Wow, congratulations, Spurs fans. Good contract. Okay, there's quite a few people that's like, yeah, nice contract, great. Okay, I guess just the negative ones are the ones that got the most attention at the top of this tweet. But yeah, but overall, man, if you think that this is a bad contract, I don't know. I don't know where you're coming from with that, especially since, like I said, his contract prior was chump change. I mean, it was chump change, and he's really grown into a valuable a really valuable center for the San Antonio Spurs going forward. So I don't know where you're coming from with this. This is a great contract for Victor Wembanyama and for our San Antonio Spurs. So I don't know. I don't really get it. Anyways, I will get with you guys later. As always, if you want to support the channel, talked about it, clanthemerchfan.com, or become a patron YouTube member, only $2 a month. Till next time, bye.